All right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamer Grind Podcast. How's everybody doing tonight?
Alive. I'm doing fine. I'm alive. I hate everything about yesterday.
Oh,
I'm actually happy for you. And Conte, I don't know what's wrong with him. Go back to the Texas, you Texas fuck.
I'm not alive right now.
Yeah, you get the 100% DK64.
I submitted my heart-shaped object to the world when I posted a tweet that fateful day when Sora got in Smash Brothers, and now I'm no longer a man.
Good.
I am Donkey Kong.
Oh,
You're all
60.
of us.
So, as you guys can see, we're all repping hats. We have Black Eye Gamer repping the Waluigi hat.
Rest in peace to my boys.
Then we have King Kawante repping the cowboy hat. Yes, sir. And then
See, we're representing characters we wanted to be in Smash Brothers. See, I'm actually Flint from Mother 3, and he's a character that nobody wanted. I'm kidding. I wanted Waluigi.
Oh, damn! You almost got my heart. You almost made me feel sad. I like Flint a lot too. But you know, the only person that's missing a hat is me, and the only hat I can think of is the perfect one.
I want you to say it again because the way how he said it.
All right, you can't. He said it. He hated us. But look at him.
The thing is, it's a guy after the election, and he puts his American flag out. That's the same thing. It's like Sora gets into Smash. It's a good day to be a Smash player.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This is episode 11, I believe. We have just come off the heels of at least to me, a spectacular presentation by oh my god, Masahiro Sakurai and the Smash team. This is a day after one of my favorite characters got announced into Smash, and that is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He's finally home, boys.
You don't have to 100% Donkey Kong 64.
You don't have to owe $300.
You see, and my coworkers, my brothers in this podcast, they took it upon themselves to be non-believers.
Oh,
Black
don't
Guy Gamer,
start that shit.
no, because Black Guy Gamer put rent down on that Sora wasn't getting in the game. He put money down, and now he's down $300. And
$300.
Ooh,
What were you doing? $300. How many people did you bet with? 10?
10 people, dude.
should have bet with me too.
You must have really been confident.
Dude, all right, listen, dude, it's Disney, bro. It's Disney. Do you know how powerful the mouse is? That mouse is so powerful. Their IP is so strict. I mean, like, it's really strict. Like, ridiculously strict. The fact that we got Kingdom Hearts 3 after so long has to do with the mouse. And the fact that they have the ability to buy out Nintendo 5 times over and make that revenue back in less than a month is nothing short of Sora being in the game, nothing short of a miracle. I'm serious. I'm 100. You saw that keychain? I know you saw the keychain with Mickey Mouse symbol.
Yeah, that was the moment I realized that my life had ended. The moment I seen that, I turned it off. The moment I saw it, I instantly turned it off.
That Mickey keychain on the screen was $500 per millisecond.
I tweeted it the day before. I was just like, man, if Sora gets in Smash, I'm going to be so mad. I would 100% Donkey Kong 64. And now everybody keeps messaging me about it, and I can't leave.
You've sealed your fate. You were so certain, so confident that he wouldn't get in.
I was 100% sure. I was like, yeah, it's not Sora. I was like, they wouldn't end it off on Sora. That doesn't make any sense. If they were going to put in Sora, they would have put him in by now. And just, I don't know. Sora doesn't seem like a character worthy of, like, ending off the Fighter's Pass on. Yeah, don't give me that look. No, that, that's just me.
No. Me?
I don't know, man. Because, like, to me, personally, it's the same thing with, like, King K. Rool or, like, Banjo-Kazooie, where there's, like, a huge amount of people asking, like, way more than, like, King K. Rool and Banjo. I remember people talking about Sora over Geno, a long conversation way back in 2016 in CEO.
He won the Fighters ballot back in the day. Yeah. I guess they probably just couldn't add him to Smash 4, but he was, like, the true winner. I'm not going to take that away from people. I just didn't think it was going to happen.
Neither did I, because he's owned by the mouse.
So funny that you guys mentioned that, because I didn't think that Sora was going to come into the game at all. So like he was a character that I initially wanted on the ballot way long ago, and I remember specifically putting it in the ballot because I did the trick where I would I go on the ballot, put in my vote. Then I go on incognito mode, put in my vote. Then I go on another browser, put in my vote, and go on another browser, put in my vote. I wanted that character in so badly. So badly. And, I thought to myself, it's okay if he doesn't get in the game. It's fine. I'll be happy. I enjoy playing Pyramithra. I enjoy playing Lucas.
No, you shut up.
I love playing Pyramithra.
I enjoy playing Pyramithra.
Yeah. But yes, yesterday they announced Sora, and Black Cat Gamer was there in the chat, but I legit almost cried. I screamed.
I couldn't believe my eyeballs. I rolled on the bed. I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. I was beyond shocked. I couldn't believe it. Like it was hype, but at the same time, it was an immediate like, oh, sick, he's in the game. Oh, fuck, I owe people money.
I had that same feeling. It was like I felt. You don't realize how dumb you feel when you do something like that, and then it actually happens, and you're like,
yeah, I know. And now you're in the cave, right? You're in the cave.
It's just like this instant despair. You're just like, no, this isn't cool anymore.
You literally have to hold that, and it's oh man. So oh man, I'm so happy. I still can't. I
don't want to take that happiness away from you. It's just for somebody who I've never played Kingdom Hearts, and he just looks like a funny man with big shoes and zippers everywhere, and it makes me laugh. And then you see Duckman and it makes me.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know because like it was like I said before, like it's like a series I always wanted to get into, but now there's no excuse. Like 100%. I mean, hey, you're stupid. I'm definitely gonna play the game. It's on Steam, so don't shoot me, please. I haven't been through full life yet. But I'm gonna probably play the game. Like I'm gonna look for it on Steam and definitely give it a shot. Play Final Fantasy 2, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Give it an actual genuine shot because like it's like one of the it's like the series, right? It's just like that single series where I've legitimately heard people talk about it, watch people play it, and praise it beyond belief for years and years to come. And I would just be like, man, that's a really cool game. I don't know shit.
I wish I had the same experience. I know like a guy who's a really big fan, and then someone we both know. Mm-hmm. I just asked him yesterday. He was like, Sora is the worst thing that ever happened to Smash Brothers, and it made me laugh really hard. But he was legitimately angry. And then he was like, I can say this because I actually played Kingdom Hearts. And he said Kingdom Hearts was the worst game he had ever played in his entire life. And he said that Sora was like, he said everything Sora said made him embarrassed. And I was like, geez.
Damn, I mean.
And he's being completely serious.
So, what I've noticed, and I'm glad that you brought that up. What I've noticed is that the responses to Sora getting into the game have either been people really love that he's in the game, or people absolutely despise that he's in the game. I had another friend that I was talking to on chat most of the day yesterday that he says like I hate this game. I hate Smash Brothers even more now after that. I'm just like, why? And I don't know what. And for some reason, for multiple people have told me, because I asked a couple people yesterday who weren't like that happy about it. A lot of the people told me they just like Sora being in the game, not so much because they dislike Kingdom Hearts, but they dislike the Kingdom Hearts community. And to some extent, I will agree. I am a big fan of the game. I do love the franchise a lot. But I've had conversations with people within the community, and they are diehards. They are diehards.
They're passionate. It's almost like, I know you probably haven't been exposed to it, but try just type in the Genshin Impact Twitter and just look at the comments.
Oh gosh.
And then imagine if they put a Genshin Impact character in Smash, people would be mad. Not even because it's an anime swordsman, but it would just be like that, having to deal with that fan base, because it's an amalgamation. There's so many different games, and everybody just all comes together, and then you have to deal with it'd be like if Sans actually got into Smash.
Yeah.
That would have been as big as Minecraft Steve.
I think and honestly, that would have been the end of the game.
It would have been. I definitely think it would have been, because it's just certain fan bases are so passionate. I feel like I wouldn't be able to just make fun of Kingdom Hearts in jest without someone threatening me or something like that, you know? It's they are really diehard for that game.
Absolutely. I think so too. Part of what makes Kingdom Hearts, I think part of what makes Kingdom Hearts, people love Kingdom Hearts so much, is a lot of the people who played it, they played it while they were growing up, and it's a really fun game, especially when I was much younger, where I wasn't thinking about all the complicated, convoluted story elements. I was thinking of just enjoying my time with the game, you know? And I can definitely see a lot of people getting really, the best way I can put it is really butthurt if somebody doesn't say that they like the game. And I've had conversations with these people that's oh, this is the de facto best game. You can't compare it. They're kind of if you guys watch anime, they're basically the Evangelion people. They're the Evangelion community who say Evangelion's the second coming of God when it comes to anime shows.
Where did you hear? Hold up, where'd you hear that? As far as
I
know, they're silent. No, you're gonna continue.
It's off topic, but people, it's weird. And I had this conversation with a couple other people. People who get into anime for the first time by watching Evangelion, they're oh, bro, it's the best thing ever. It's the pinnacle of I haven't heard that from Gundam at all.
No, I'd say that's because it is good. If I was to make an apt comparison, I'd say Kingdom Hearts fans are like the My Hero fans, 100%.
Nah.
I think so.
I know. I think I have to kind of agree, but not agree fully, because at least they're children, but they're not stupid.
No, I mean they're
just gonna be honest.
They're not. I don't know. Some people you just never know. You know. I just think another fan base that I've seen that's that rabid is Paper Mario fans, because Lord have mercy, and then Sonic fans.
Sonic fans are children. Paper Mario fans do not know how to cope. The children aspect, and they're stupid. 100%. They're dumb. Cave people.
No, definitely. But you see what I'm trying to get at? It's not so much that it's specifically one community. It's typically people who get into who have that one community that they're diehards about. Usually it gets pretty toxic when people want to disagree. So that's why I think this applies to Kingdom Hearts 2 as well, where the community gets very annoying about the franchise. I love the games. The games are great. I love the story. I love the characters. But I can understand when people like say, I don't like Sora being in this game because I hate the Kingdom Hearts community. So that in itself, I can't blame people for. Ultimately, I loved that presentation a lot. That presentation, there's so much that they did with it, and it felt very good because they had the whole Smash ballot, and they're saying, oh, your character can get in, vote for it, and everybody voted. Sora won the ballot. He won the ballot, but he never got into the game, and a lot of us chalked it up to money. The most powerful mouse, Mickey the mouse, has a tight grasp on a lot of those IPs, and I'm like,
this was Disney.
Absolutely, they have this grasp on all these IPs, and that was the main reason why I never thought he was going to get into the game. So seeing him in the game, that was years of people and me myself feeling like this character's not going to get in. He's finally in, and yesterday was amazing because I recorded my own reaction, but seeing the reactions of all the people that I know were diehard fans. The shout out goes to Vicky Kitty, Nakat, and MVD, because every single direct we're always on Twitter just like, it's time my brothers, he's coming home, and every time we're just like, it's okay, we'll wait for the next one, don't lose faith, brothers, don't lose faith. So seeing like them and just everybody, I watched multiple videos of people just reacting, and like so many people on the verge of tears. I was one of them, bro. I was so close to just crying. I probably did cry a bit. Probably did drop a tear or two. But it just shows like, one, how impactful that series has been to a lot of these people, and two, like, it feels like with Sora's inclusion into the game, it felt like, hey, this is something they did for me, bro. Obviously, it's not for me.
Just for you, specifically for that chocolate man.
Yes, for me. Yes. I repped the hat for you. Now give me Sora. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yesterday was fantastic. I love that.
You have one problem though, and it's not with Sora himself, but it's the stigma of the anime swordsman, because that's what everybody said. They're just like, oh man, I don't want another anime swordsman. And then those same people freaking out over Kingdom Hearts, and it's just like, oh man, where y'all at now? And it's just like, I guess anime swordsman was just a secret code word for Fire Emblem characters, and nobody just established that, I guess.
Oh my god.
That's just what sword character means. Nobody had that problem when Sephiroth came, because they're like, oh, but he is the anime swordsman, gamers.
I watched a really interesting video on YouTube about that and why Smashers particularly are complaining about the Fire Emblem cast. And you got to remember that 4 had a lot of Fire Emblem characters came out, bam, 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 back to back to back, dude. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, wow, that kind of makes sense, especially since the saturation didn't stop, especially in the beginning of Ultimate, where they introduced Chrom.
Chrom.
And Roy.
But people wanted Chrom. It's like, I can understand people's disappointment, because you see Chrom and then Lucina comes out of nowhere, and it's like nobody wanted another Marth clone.
Exactly.
It's just like, it's kind of strange. And then they didn't change Lucina. They were just like, she's an Echo Fighter, and then we also have Roy. And then it was just really weird to have, I could get the oversaturation at that point, because that is just a really strange choice. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just think it's funny. And then people are also really complaining about Pyra and Mithra a lot as well. It's just like, oh, another sword character. I haven't seen a single person make that complaint with Sora. Everybody's been like either universally happy, like you said, or just very, very angry. So.
I think a lot of the stigma comes from, well, yeah, just what you said. I think that at a surface level, most of the sword characters, you know, they have a lot of the same attributes. It mainly stems from Mark Lucino Roy Crom, where their moves visually are not different by any means. Yes, they have their. I think in Smash 4 and Ultimate, they did a better job of differentiating Roy and Crom from Mark Lucina, but a lot of their moves function essentially the same. Then I remember one of the jokes that I always used to see within like the Smash like memes would be it's like a chart and it's like all the Marths in the game. Marth is Marth, Lucina is Girl Marth, Roy is Fire Marth, Ike is Strong Marth. Then they got crazy and they're just like Meta Knight's Bat Marth, and I'm just like, what's going on? And there's just this idea that if you play a sword character, you're gonna have the same moveset as everybody else, and that's why I'm just like, yes, they have that idea of Echo Fighters, but if people really pay attention, a lot of these sword characters, while maybe their game plan is essentially the same, they are fundamentally different. Pyramenta functions like the way that their moves are designed. I like Pyramenta the most compared to all the sword characters because like their movesets are so unique compared to almost all the sword characters in the game, with the only move maybe looking the same as maybe their neutral air.
I was gonna say up air because I feel like every sword character's up air is just like the upward swipe. I mean, I think the neutral air is fine, but like up air on most sword characters is literally just that upward swipe, and then the down tilt is just like either, you know, a little downward sweep or, you know, they have the little poke.
Yeah, of course. And but I also do think that the other thing it comes down to is most people. This is me generalizing a bit. Most people struggle against fighting against sword characters, even at like from a casual to competitive level. At casual levels of games, and this is because I know I have a lot of friends from high school that still play the game. That play it very casually. They hate dealing with sword fighters because in order to beat sword characters, you gotta be like kind of good. You gotta know what you're doing to get around sword characters. So that's why, yeah. So that's why I can understand why people just hate that idea of here, anime sword fighter. But if you really think about it, let's say they didn't put any more anime sword fighters, they would need to really think outside the box when it comes to adding new characters. Because then you don't want to have if you have too many characters like Mario, then it feels kind of stale. If you have too many characters if you have too many like zoner type characters like Samus, then people are gonna get pissed about that. People are already mad that there's a lot of zoners in the game. Point is, like, if you lean too much towards one archetype, and this just goes for any fighting game, any just competitive game in general. If you have too much of one archetype, people are just gonna be like, I don't like that, because it feels like it over-centralizes the game. So that's why I think there's that stigma of sword fighters in the game, and how there's a lot of hate for Sora, Pyramenta, and all these characters because they're the anime sword fighting. But it could also just be like maybe from the kind of games they all come from. They're all Japanese based games. Fire Emblem, Kingdom Hearts now, Xenoblade.
I mean, you can say that all day. Like, those are popular games. Like, those are characters people actually wanted. Like, regardless of how much you hate Sora, people wanted him in the game, and you can't take that away from people.
Absolutely.
But it also, I think, really depends on the type of bubble that you're in, because it's like you said, people do play it casually, and a lot of the casual people are still saying that exact same stuff. Mm-hmm. It's hard to look at it in a sense of this character has different attributes than that other character, because they're not looking at it from the competitive standpoint. It's like you look at those characters on a surface level and you're just like, that's the same guy. He has red hair, but he's doing the same things. Exactly. And a competitive person might be like, oh no, they have this difference and that difference, and then nobody's going to care about that. It's like, those bubbles don't mix together, so it's different for everybody.
It even, I'll even go as far as to say that it's not too different from people who play competitive too, because I had people who watched the trailer and said, oh, you see that move where he goes like dash, 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 Sonic Blade, Sonic Blade, Sonic Blade? That's Bayo's side B. And I'm just like, I mean, it's not, but it's very easy to like make those comparisons. Personally, I think Sora looks so different than every other character. It looks very different from compared to a lot of the Sword characters. And I think in general, I gotta give a round of applause to like Sakurai and his team, because every character in Ultimate that's come out has been a very unique character. I don't think there's one character to me that feels like it's the same old character. Each of them have brought something to the table, to the game, that's like interesting. Sephiroth having his wing, Min Min with her arms, Steve being...
Say something nice about Min Min.
I like Min Min. I like how the character plays. Steve being literal creative mode. Literal creative mode, you do whatever you want. You throw all bombs.
He's playing Minecraft.
He's playing Minecraft. You're playing Smash. You're playing two different games. Kazuya being the literal epitome of fear. All of that, they've done such a good job with that in this game. And like, I don't think enough like credit is given to like that team and how much attention to detail they put into a lot of the work that they do. It was really nice that they, I almost spent too much more time on this because like I could go on and on about Sora being announced, but like it really felt like with every character announced, it was a special event that everybody, at least if not everybody can enjoy it, some people would get enjoyment out of it. And I felt like yesterday's presentation was a very good way to I thought, at least for me, it was a very good way to send off the game. Said, hey, this is a character you guys all wanted. Here you go. This is it. I am like, as happy as I am for the characters, I'm actually super happy that Ultimate turned out to be this amazing. I think Ultimate's an amazing game. I don't think enough credit.
Oh, it is. I don't think there'll be anything like it like ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it. I mean, if there's another Smash Brothers game, I feel like they're probably going to retool a lot, and it's not going to be the same. So it's like, for right now, this is it.
This is it. Yeah. I think my favorite thing about the Sora being out is that it's over. There's no more leaks. There's no more arguments. There's no more fist fights. There's no more people being stupid or asking for other characters. There's no more people bothering Sakurai about who's going to be the next character in Smash, or insinuations if he decides to like go on interviews or talk with other like developers about different games, or even fucking playing PS5. It's over. And now that Sora's out, it's finally just about damn time that we actually just play the goddamn game and not worry about anything else. Because if there's going to be updates, it'll be tools about updates about the game, and that's something completely different on a different topic that I would like to talk about next time.
No, definitely.
I don't think it ever ends. It ends to a certain extent.
For now.
Yeah, as I say, it ends for now until people are going to be like, well, there's going to be a next game. And then they'll already start theorizing and be like, okay, next game, I want Travis Touchdown, Chris
Waluigi, Deltarune, Waluigi, Ashley from WarioWare. Give me the Bulborb from Pikmin.
Give me Bandana D, Marks
Magalorg. I want a sandwich.
Spike Goomba from Paper Mario. Slam Witch from Kids Next Door.
I heard. All I hope more than anything is Sakurai, if you ever stumble across this podcast, know you need a goddamn break, bro. You put a lot of he puts a lot of effort into this game, and he's old now. I remember reading a lot of interviews towards
Please
the end
do
of
not say that 50 is old. What is wrong with you?
Okay, hold up. 50 is definitely not young, one. And two...
Hey, it's not young, but it's like, I would hate to be 50 and have some 20-some-year-old kid just be like, man, you're old.
People call me old now. What the fuck?
I'm just like... He would go into interviews saying how, like the games do take a toll on him, and he wants to spend more... The dude wants to spend more time... I know he said he wants to spend more time on other IPs. Smash is definitely not the only thing that he wants to do. It's one of his best works, most definitely. But I know there's more that he wants to be able to achieve. And he put out a tweet stating that he's just going to be playing PS5. He's going to be playing PS5. He's going to be taking a long ass break because he needs it. And good stuff to the man. I don't know if he'll ever be in charge of a Smash game again. Maybe he'll take a more directory role of it, where he's just kind of like, hey, you do this, you do that. I have an idea, or oversee the projects. But I don't know if he'll ever make a Smash, be the main person working on a Smash game again. And that's why I'm just like,
I think he's already the director. I mean, he is doing that already. I'm sure he's hands-on.
He's definitely more hands-on. Like fucking Miyamoto, right? Miyamoto's not as hands-on anymore.
Yeah, Miyamoto's he's producer, and that's less hands-on. But Sakurai's definitely, he's not a producer, he's a director.
He's a director, but he needs to be a producer. If he's a producer, he could just be like, oh yes, finally, I could tell these bitches what to do. I have all the power in the galaxy.
I mean, if you really think about it now, Nintendo... There's not really stuff like R&D1 or stuff like that anymore. It's a lot of Nintendo games are made by other companies. It's like the most recent example, Metroid Dread, that's being made by Mercury Steam. Or why did I say it like that? Mercury Steam. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of IPs now are just being outsourced and made by different companies, and Nintendo oversees it and makes sure it has that quality. But they have so many IPs that they can't make all of them in-house anymore. So it's like Luigi's Mansion 3, that was Next Level Games. So, there's plenty of examples. And it's hardly too many games I can think of that were made in-house recently, maybe except for something like Pikmin 3. And I can't really think of very much else. Because I know Miyamoto had more of a hands-on Pikmin 3. But that's the last thing I remember.
But overall, you do prove a lot of good points. Overall, very excited. Glad that Smash at least Smash reveals have come to an end. So once again, I think we said it in another podcast, but now we can focus on other games whenever there's another announcement. If there's an announcement for a Direct, it's not about Smash anymore. It's about Nintendo games. Not a Smash Direct. Please don't make that mistake. Please, Smash Community, don't do it. Please, don't do it. I'm tired. I'm so tired, bro. Dude, Nintendo is not... Dude, Smash is not the entirety of Nintendo. There are so many different games that not enough people talk about. So now that Smash is done, Smash is more or less done. It's done.
We can talk about Breath of the Wild too.
Let's go!
That's going to be in the next Direct. Yep. Nah. But that's what people will do. They'll be like, okay, when's Breath of the Wild 2? It's not in this Direct. I'm disappointed. That Direct sucks.
Damn, Quante, fuck. Dude, people that complain about certain things not being in Direct have to understand that, game development is a lot more different than it is now than it ever was due to the pandemic. But, in all honesty, once again, dude, Bayonetta 3 got announced. The new Kirby game, that's 3D environment, got announced. People are like, oh, these are great. Where's Donkey Kong? Where's the next Mario game? Where's the next Zelda game? I'm like, dude, this thing takes time. It's not like video games just pop up out of nowhere and they just spawn on contact. Like I had a 30-minute conversation yesterday with somebody about, oh well, Donkey Kong IP's been forgotten and they're not doing anything with it anymore and he's gonna die. And I'm like, dude, they're probably working on something huge and you don't even know about it. But go ahead, be stupid. I don't care. I'm tired of it.
Absolutely. Oh no, I'm very happy. Now, switch things up a bit. So, a lot of times when you get interested in something, a lot of times it may inspire you to want to try things out, want to try out a new thing. Like, for example, when I first introduced to the idea of competitive Smash, I was inspired to go out and try competing. When I was introduced to another example there. I lost it. Brain fart. Do apologize. But anyways, sometimes video games inspire us to do real life things. So, Black Eye Gamer and Quante, I want to know, what has a video game inspired you to do that has either to do with the video game or just has to do with like a real life activity? Talk to me.
Honestly, football.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, football. It's weird because like it's not realistically like it gave me the motivation to join the team. It was just like, this is exactly what happened. I was freshman in high school, and I stayed after school to do the gaming club, and it was like probably maybe like starting of the season for freshman year. And I was like, okay, cool. This is a great time. I had a good time meeting some new friends, and it was a short meeting. So I'm walking around campus, trying to wait for the activity bus to come pick me up. And I walk by and I see the guys outside doing bag drills. And I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then like the freshman football coach was someone that went to my church. He was just like, oh, hey, you should come over here, Josh. You should play some football. And ever since then, I was just like, they just like put me inside, got me clothed up, and I thought immediately about Metroid Prime. Where you see the first person view of Samus. That's when I put on the helmet, I was like, oh shit, I'm Samus Aran. Let's go. I'm serious. In high school, dude, I came up with moves that were after video game items, dude. I'm not even kidding. You think I'm fucking exaggerating? I'm not. My favorite thing to do in the galaxy all the time when we're working out is grunting like video game bosses, like Ganondorf or Bowser. And I love that shit. And they're just like, damn, Kendall, you make all that noise. It's like, I'm lifting heavy weights. I gotta move. It's gotta come out. I did that all the way through college. Like, it's not the factoid that video games has helped me, like, that pushed me to get into football. It was just that it created a new level of fun, Like, it just like, it's just like, oh, fuck it, it's kind of weird. Realistically, you gotta treat life like a game sometimes because it do be boring, and when you do the same thing over and over again, it does suck. But if you treat it like a game, it doesn't realistically change, and you can do whatever you want throughout the day. So it's just like, fucking, it's basically Quante's fault, realistically. And the social, it's your fault. Persona on the social links forced me to talk more to my teammates. Fucking.
How is that my fault?
I don't care.
I didn't do anything to you. I just found you on the internet one day playing crusty
Super Mario World. And it's just one of those things that's just like, it made it more fun and it pushed me along the way through. And I'm glad that it's just a little tiny aspect, Like, obviously people like in the NFL now are a lot more boisterous and like more animated now, where they're very vocal about, anime and like Smash Bros and stuff like that, where they do victory poses as the characters. I was doing that shit in college. I have a clip basically when I got sacked, and my sack celebration dance was Birdie's victory before he transitions to the next round. For real, I'm serious.
No,
I can show you.
I believe it. But I mean, while not necessarily directly the direct reason, it does inspire. It inspires you to at least try some new things out, and that's pretty cool overall. I guess for me myself. So let's see. There's like there's two things mainly. The first one's I'm kind of embarrassed about it, but it's okay. So I like playing a lot of like story-based games. I really did enjoy like games like that. I still enjoy them to this day. When I was in middle school, I had a lot of friends that were very into writing, and they told me about this one site. It's called Wattpad. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So Wattpad is a website where people could make their own little stories, type them up, and make their own, and publish their stories for them. The cool thing
he's avoiding the word that we are all expecting him to say.
No,
he won't say it.
I'm not saying that. It's not that. It's not an OC. It's not an OC. Oh god.
No, that's not the word that I'm looking for.
That's not the word I'm looking for either.
No, it's not 2 syllables. It's 3-syllable word.
3-syllable word. Come on, baby. It starts with an F.
Go ahead and say it, because you're avoiding it.
What?
I'll take it. Jeopardy. I'll take fan fiction for 500.
Oh, fan. So, you know, I mean, okay. So my friends were into Wattpad. They made their own little story. They made their own little stories, and they said, "Hey, you should definitely try making one yourself." So it never got. I never gave it a name, but there was like an old email address that I have. That deep in this email address, I have at least 2 different like rough drafts of stories that I posted on Wattpad. They were not good. They were not good. The comments did not like it, and that's okay. But yes, I tried making like a story. Me and a close friend during that time, we both had like he was a much better writer, but I had much better idea. I had more like cooler ideas. So we were theory crafting like a story, like a large fucking story with multiple volumes and stuff like that. And I remember every day, early in the morning, we'd meet up, we'd talk about stuff, and we're like, put it in the fucking story. Put it in the story. and it...
It's okay, AJ. We were all children.
It hurts so bad to think about. It embarrasses me a lot. But, like, it was something I'd never done before. A little creative writing like that. And funny enough, over the years, I actually became a much better writer. I think because of it, I got much like. I personally don't care too much for writing because I think it gets tedious. I don't like the process of sitting down behind a screen because I can sit there and wait like 4 hours with nothing there. But once I get the gears turning, I can write. I write my heart out.
It's hard.
Yeah, like it's tough.
Yeah, you get if you even it doesn't matter, bro. Yeah, it's tough, dude.
I thought about it because I want to make a game. I've said this 1,000 times, but I'm just like, man, what would the story be? Even coming up with like a simple story, I'm just like, man, what do I do? It's like you can't really come up with very much. You have to base things around like, all right, I have this character, and I have to make this character before I make anything else, and build the world around like this singular character, and like what are their likes, their dislikes, when's their birthday, when's this, when's that. It's like it's so much that goes into it. and you have to probably do that for like every single character, setting, whatever you make. And I'm just like, man, this is a lot more than I thought that it would be. Or at least like when you're looking at it from outside perspective, it's like, sure, everything looks like it comes easy until you actually try it yourself.
Exactly.
That stuff doesn't come to you immediately unless you're just like a genius.
Bro, writer's block is a bitch.
Writing's hard.
Writing is such a hard skill, and I'll admit, like, that was something I was able to like build a little bit more. I'll build a lot more of that skill because of making those little stories that I'm embarrassed about. The other thing that I think gaming got me into was, what gaming got me into was being more confident to share my voice. I don't necessarily know this. I don't necessarily know this is like 100% in relation to what we're doing here. What the exact question that I asked, but
go ahead, speaking.
So, going into the first year of college, I was lost. I was super lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I originally had got in for a business degree, but I took one business class and I said, I actually hate this. This really sucks. So I remember talking with my advisor, and she's just like, well, what is it that you like more than anything? I told her, I love gaming. I love gaming, but I've never really been interested in. I've never been interested in the coding aspect of games. I think that's so boring. That can get very tedious, and you got to have a real like love for that if you're going to do something like that. And
I don't think people that program games love programming. I mean, there's people that think it's fun, but I don't think anybody's like, man, I love this.
It's like, I love this. Yeah, I have to animate this guy's arm pointing that way. Oh, I fucked something up, and 3 other things are fucked up? Damn.
It's like a love for something different, but not to say that people hate it, but it's
tough.
There's a lot of stuff that happens. And one thing goes wrong, and then everything goes wrong. I did programming in college a little bit, and it's something.
It definitely just wasn't for me. So I've always thought of the idea of doing like just, I like sharing my thoughts on video games. It's exactly what we do here, And I was convinced by my advisor, why not try out journalism? Now, once again, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of writing. I'm not a big fan of writing. I hate that process. But I said, you know what? I have to explore what I need to do, so I'm going to try something. I talked with an old teacher of mine, and I've convinced myself to try like a small little internship. I did an internship with this website. It's called earlyaccess.net. I'm pretty sure it's still earlyaccessgaming.net. I'm pretty sure that the website still exists. But for a little bit of time, it was an unpaid internship where I did a couple articles where I would talk about like indie games, stuff like that. And I liked sharing my thoughts on these games. I remember I would get to try out a game. I'd get like a key to try out a game, and I'd get to write an article about it. I hated writing. I remember one day, it was a football game. My friends were just like, hey, let's go to the football game. We're going to have fun. We're going to drink. We're going to have a nice party. We're going to go get food later. It's going to be so fun. I'm like, yeah, don't worry. It's like 11 a.m. right now. 11 a.m. right now. I had to drop this article because it had to be done on Saturday. It had to be done, like, dropped off on Saturdays. And I said, all right, cool. I did not leave my room. That was like 11. I did not leave my room until 9 p.m. It was the most insane writer's block I've ever had in my life. And I literally said to myself, I cannot do this. Because it was not the first day it happened. It was like the third or fourth time where I had to like spend my whole day just brainstorming on what I'm going to write and then get it done. So I said no to journalism. I said no to journalism. But I still said I want to do something similar. I want to, do something where my voice can matter. And I think that's what led me to the route of multimedia. Aside from my love for games, I did meet a friend excuse me, my competitions in Smash. His tag, Kendall knows him. It's Dan Strife. He's a video editor. And I was taking a multimedia class where I had to start editing. Videos. I went over to his place and he'd help me out. And I remember sitting down with him, and just like going through the process of like editing this, that. And I'm just like, bro, I actually really, really like this. I spent the rest of my time in college becoming a video editor. In fact, if you guys, I'm gonna plug the YouTube. If you guys check out one of the earliest videos we have on the channel, it's why I love fighting games, and that was a video that I made for a final. And because of video games, I was able to find that I have a love for multimedia. I love media in general, not just games, music, television, movies. I like that all a lot. I like the idea of creating. I do like art and stuff like that. Digital, I've never been proficient at art, but finding out my love for editing, utilizing like programs like After Effects and Photoshop, it showed me the light that, hey, I can, even if I'm not a good artist with the pencil, I can still be an artist through digital art. I have to learn a lot. I still some more that I gotta learn, but I know that like, I can pursue graphic design. That's probably going to be one of the next things I pursue. I don't know when that will be, but the point is, I got put onto this route all because of gaming, and I really do appreciate gaming because of that.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I guess for me, it sort of feels sentimental, and this is gonna be a little weird, but it's like, obviously all of us are black. I mean, that's no secret, but it's almost like it's almost like games sort of saved me from a path that probably would not have been great for me, especially just because a lot of us, we don't have a lot of money. I mean, unless you do, but a lot of the black people that I know, we didn't grow up with a lot of money. We lived in neighborhoods that weren't the greatest. We didn't have the best influences, whether that was family or the people around us. And so I always had games. And I feel like because I had those games, it kept my attention away from other stuff that could have potentially have been harmful, or, basically I'm saying it kept me off the street because I was not in the best situation when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, it opened a lot of doors to a lot of stuff that I've done throughout my whole life, because I feel like that's been the central focus, is just, not only just playing games, but even from a very young age. I mean, I'm not I wouldn't call myself an artist either, but I've always loved to draw. That was always one of the things that I did. It was like, I really used to love drawing like Mario and Sonic, honestly. It's just like, I'd look at the box art, because I always loved that. Whenever a new game would come out, you just get the box and look at it, and you just see the characters on there, and sometimes I would just try to draw what I would see on the box. It was always really fun. So I've drawn my whole life. I just never did it seriously enough to where it's just like, oh man, I'm really good at it. Although I would really like to be, because drawing is honestly fun. It's just probably one of the hardest things I think that I have tried to take up, because man, there's just so much to anatomy and posing and all sorts of stuff like that, and just learning in general. But it has been something that I've tried. I mean, obviously you just said stuff like video editing. Before anything like this, I did make YouTube videos. I did Let's Plays on YouTube, and that's how I met Josh, because I used to Let's Play when I was like in 10th grade. And it's just because I seen everybody else doing it. It was like the new thing at the time. You watched your Chugga Conroys, your Nintendo Capri Sun. Those P-Call, those really old guys. And so I wanted to be like that. So those were the type of videos that I made, and I just made YouTube videos of me playing games. And that's how I met my current online friend group, is by Let's Playing. And then I just randomly found Josh on YouTube, and it was as a joke. I just messaged him, and I was just like, hey, you want to be in our Boogaloo Shrimp group? And then he said yes, and then suddenly he joined the Skype call, and there he was. He was there 10 years later. And so not only just video editing, but just everything it feels like I've done revolved around that. And sooner or later, I do want to make my own game. Because one of the things I've been the most passionate about is I always wanted to make my own game, and I used to see YouTube videos of just like they would call them just like custom Mario levels, and it was Super Mario World, but it was just like people using lunar magic to make Mario World levels. I didn't know what it was, but I just used to look them up on YouTube and be like, man, people are making these, and I always wanted to make one. And then when I finally figured out how to do everything, it was almost like how you said you had writer's block. I don't know what that would be called for level design, but that's what I had. I was just like,
God.
all right, what do I do now? And I made the most garbage level that you could think of. I was like 13. I was like, man, this sucks. I was like, I just stick to playing other people's hacks. And then eventually I downloaded there's a program called Super Mario Brothers X, and I feel like we spent like what 2 years?
Too much time. We spent too much time making that fucking game. Quante, our group made a game called Super Boogaloo World, and legitimately we worked on that game for 2 years. That was like half a high school.
I think we started it like junior year, like at the beginning, because I remember just going through that whole year. And then we were just learning so much stuff. Like people were making like pixel art for like the enemies. People were learning how to like make events happen. It was what made me want to make a game, because our collaboration on that project, I was just like, this is fun. I would come home every single day and make a level, and it was just like I'd be listening to music on the bus, and I'd be like, I'm gonna use this, and then I'd be visualizing the type of level that I'd make in my head, and I'd be like, yeah. And that doesn't mean it was good. I go back and play those levels now, and I'm just like, man, this is ass. Like, ass.
Melting ass.
But back then, I was just like, yeah, this is fine. And then I'd play other people's levels, and we would critique each other. We'd like give each other ideas. It felt like a really good like collaboration. It was like so many of us on it too, and it was like one of the best times I feel like that I ever had, and valued to the point where I was a dumb idiot and I used it for my graduation project in in high school, and I got a 100, and I didn't even make the whole thing myself, but I told them I did.
Asshole!
Hey, we love to see it. We love to see it. Dubs only.
Doesn't matter, but yeah, I just generally like I just feel like I've done so many things. I even learned like animation. I remember watching like Super Mario Brothers Z by Alvin Earthworm.
Oh my god!
I was just like, that was the coolest thing I've seen at the time. Like looking at it now, it's so far fetched. It's just like, why are these Mario characters fighting like it's Dragon Ball Z? I thought that was the coolest thing back when I was like in 4th grade. I was just like, how are people doing this? I learned how like animation works, like onion skin, and I have like some really old like animations of just characters fighting, because I thought it was like a cool thing. It was like not another sprite fight type things, and so there's just so many things that I just wanted to learn, but I never got like serious on a certain thing. And I feel like that's what I need to do, is just like really pick one thing and then just learn it and stick with it.
I mean, I like what you say there. I think part of what a lot of people don't do in general when it comes to like picking up a skill or wanting to like commit to something, it's hard to give up, to sacrifice something else in order to achieve something else. I feel like I think that's been one of the biggest struggles, like one of the big struggles I've had as of recent, because part of me says, well, I want to be Choco, the content creator, and I want to make more content that's unique for this channel. I want to maybe turn this into something much bigger than, just 3 dudes just chatting on the Discord.
3 dudes chatting on Discord.
Yeah, that's us. But there's also that part of me that's like, well, I still want to be the best competitor I can be when it comes to competing in Smash. So I find myself oftentimes I start spreading myself too wide, and some days I'll focus more on the channel, some days I'll focus more on competing, and then sometimes I just find myself so dead tired that I can't do any of it.
Yeah.
And then
It's hard, man.
And then we're all adults here. We gotta make sure we have time for family. We have time for friends. We have time to work out. We have time to eat properly. And it's just like you have all these commitments, and you're just like, oh my gosh. Oh,
die.
man.
Gotta feed that cat.
I remember
You can't.
I remember the first time I really felt this kind of pressure was I think it was like it was the second year or second or third year of college when I was able to start like really competing. Or yeah, it was the fourth year because I was actually like flying out to tournaments and going. It was the biggest stress because like I was going to 4 or 5 tournaments a week, but I was also doing full-time school, and I was also doing part-time work, and I was also trying to, do family and friends and stuff like that. That, for like a year, I gave up seeing my friends for like a year. For like, it hurt. It sucked, bro. I'm like, I want to hang out with my homies, but like, if I'm not practicing or if I'm not studying or I'm not doing this or that, it feels like I'm wasting time. So I definitely think that now I'm much better about it, but it's still a big issue. And I definitely want to make a lot more changes going forward so I can accommodate for all the goals I have currently, because I want to succeed.
I feel like that's a toxic mentality that our generation currently has, though. Is everybody wants to be the big thing, and everybody feels like they have to be productive. When it's almost like us just doing what we want to do or having fun is like a sin. It's like, now you got to be out there grinding like 24/7. You got to
get the bag. Gotta chase the bag. Gotta get the bag. Gotta get the bag. Fuck the bag. The bag's gotta get me, dude.
It's like people bragging about working like
70 hours
a day,
bro.
70-hour weeks, 80-hour weeks. I'm just like, go you, man. I'm just like, I need my rest. It's like, I'm happy that you're making money, but I want to do more than just work and die. It's like I remember talking to my grandma once, and then she was just like, oh man, I'm always at work. And I'm like, oh, what do you do for fun? And she's like, I don't do anything. And I just thought about it, and I was just like, it's like I couldn't live that way. She's like, all I do is work and go to sleep. And I was just like, not me. It's like,
not life for me.
Not me. And it really hits me whenever, because I keep talking about this game, and it's just like, realistically, I can't do anything. It's like I don't have the necessary skills to program. I can draw enough. It's like I can't make anything that looks good or that would make people be attracted to wanting to, let's say, like, help. And speaking of help, I don't have money. So it's like I can't pay people to help. And so I'm just like, man, I have this really neat idea that is on 13 pages of Google document that I can't do anything with. Unless I try to learn something myself. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out, is like, what do I dedicate myself to where I could do something. And I think it might be art. I don't know. I might try to seriously learn how to draw. I just need to be committed to it. And that commitment is very difficult for me. So I feel like I just jump all over the place.
Absolutely. I think that's the core, definitely the core issue. I like how you brought up the. I know we're getting a little bit off topic of games in general, but I like how you brought up the grind mentality, because me and a friend, a pretty good friend of ours that I know from tournaments, he has a very heavy chase the bag grind mentality. And to some extent, I definitely think that, yes, people can be much more productive to achieve their goals in general. I think a lot of people say they want to achieve goals, and not enough people really go the extra mile to get them done. That's what I think separates the people at the top or whatever they do compared to like the average people. I've always believed that. I've always agreed it's all about how much work you put in. But I also do agree that your life cannot be about the grind. Yes, it's important to make sure you get if you're play sport, it's important to get your practice in every single time. If you want to make the most money, it's important to do really well in your job and push for a career that can guarantee that success. But sometimes you don't want to make your whole life about, hey, this is all my life is for. Because once you achieve that, like, what happens then? What happens?
Well, you're old. That's
old.
The thing. It's like people you work that hard, and you'll be doing it every day for the rest of your life until you're like 60, 70. And then by that time, you're too old to enjoy any of it. It's like, yeah, you made the bag and you're rich or you're wherever you want to be at that point. But it's like, you only got a little bit of time left. I mean, depends on who you are. Nobody knows how long they're going to live.
No,
but if you're just going by life expectancy, it's just like, man, you're not here that much longer. You know, especially for like males, it's like male life expectancy is like 70. So it's like, yeah, hope you enjoy that last 10 years.
I'm gonna be grandpa for 5 years.
Then, and it gets me because like he's the kind of person that doesn't want to take any risks. He wouldn't want to take any risks. Where like he goes about a lot of the things he goes about. He tries to like be as calculated as possible, but I feel like you can plan for things ahead. You can try to calculate some things, but there's a lot of things you just can't expect. And if you can't expect everything. You can't expect everything. And two, if you don't take any risks, then you don't have the opportunity to maybe knock it out of the park. It's like
I get where you're coming from, AJ.
You gotta get what I'm trying to say.
You have to, yeah. I know what you're talking about. You got to control the controllables. That's the number one thing. People try to expectancy and have this foresight where they believe that they know what's going on. If you can't control the controllables, or you're focused on everything else except for the controllables, then your whole world's out of whack. That's what you have to do: is control the controllables. Your attitude reflects your effort. Your attitude toward things, whether it's good or bad, actually reflects your effort towards the thing that you're doing. Mm-hmm. If you're like, damn, this sucks, I gotta edit. No, you gotta be like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna edit this video, it's gonna be lit. Or yeah, we're gonna get this workout, it's gonna be great. Your attitude reflects your effort towards the production of what you do, your value. This is football shit, mind you. But also it's just like one of the things that some people don't realistically understand when it's their first time around, or actually like trying to get on the grind in general, is that it's okay. There's a time for everything. There's a time to work, and there's also a time to play, and there's also a time to rest. If you're really on the constant grind, whether it's being an athlete or getting money, you have to know that there's a certain time and place for when you actually have to take care of your body. Because we may be young. We'll be young for a while. Trust me. Even when we hit 30 and like 35, we'll still be young. But your body disintegrates. Your bones start to get crushed. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And rest is important. So when you get that rest easy, so that you know if you're hungry, eat. Don't starve yourself. If you're tired, sleep. Don't deprive your sleep. It's all about that well balance of Zen. And if you're worried about, the planet's gonna explode. I don't know when it's gonna blow up, but I know it's gonna happen. I might as well prepare for it. But no, why would you do that if you don't know? Isn't that right, Cap? Why did you do that?
I mean, most definitely. Before we go, and from everybody here, I want to know because now y'all got me motivated to wanting to get up to do a little something, but do something that I've wanted to do, or do something I've been putting off, and make sure I get it done. So, what is one thing that after this conversation that you're going to achieve, whether you do it today, you do it tomorrow, or you're going to get done, but you're going to commit to getting it done. That's what I want to know from everybody.
I'm gonna keep making micro clips until I die, which is at Smash Micro Clips. You can find it on YouTube. I upload at least 3 clips a day. Ooh, it's better than Eat Smash because it's made by me, the black guy. Isn't that right, Kat? That's basically what I'm gonna do is try to be consistent with the YouTube channel. It's hard. Being consistent's a bitch. It's so hard. It's tough. Sorry. You bit my fucking toe.
Oh man.
I guess with me, it would just be if I'm really gonna, let's say, draw, let's just pick one. I would have to pick something every day that I would need to draw. I don't have to go all out and be like, I'm gonna draw this character, but like maybe draw like, hands if I wanted to focus on that. If that was something that I really had trouble with, just draw a bunch of hands on the page. Do like exercises like drawing circles, doing things like, figure whatever. Like there's a whole bunch that I could be doing. I just need to actually do it is the thing. And sometimes I will. It's like I've had times where I'm like, yeah, I'm motivated to do this, and then I'll be doing it consistently, and then it just stops, like just out of nowhere. That's a bad habit of mine, and I won't go back to it until like much, much later.
Okay. No, yeah, I resonate with that one a lot. I think for me, what it's gonna be is one. Well, it's gonna be like one. Really, really pinpoint exactly what I'm trying to achieve. I want to be yes. I want to be the best content creator, but I want to be a bigger content creator. Excuse me, but I want to be one of the best competitors that are out there for Smash. So I'm gonna have to. I do have my work cut out for me, but it's something that if I want to achieve it, I have to do it. 2, I think it's okay. Putting the diligence where diligence is needed. Being diligent with uploads. I do apologize, chat. Everybody watching, I apologize. I failed you. I am not as consistent as I want to be, but it's something that I know that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be done. With my practice with Smash, putting in that time. I think I've been a lot better with that as of recent because I'm putting in my 30 minutes to an hour each day. And I've already seen overall improvements, like in my results within tournaments. So I know that like me adding that little bit of time in it's benefiting. And just doing a better job to committing to what I say I'm trying to commit to. I'm like you, Quante, where like I have waves of momentum, and I'm just like, I'm all in, and the cars go like on S plus mode. You're driving, you're going through it, and all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden, you just stop. And you're like, oh,
I guess,
fuck, baby, maybe I can do this. No, it's gone. So. That's been one of the biggest struggles I've been dealing with. I think I've gotten better about that since last year, because last year it was beating my ass. It was beating my ass. But it's not where I needed to. It's not where I needed to be. So getting those problems out of my system is, I think, what's going to help me like really push myself as an individual.
Man, last year would have been the best time to do anything like that.
I know.
But because nobody was working, but I was.
I was working. I worked 2 jobs. I worked 2 jobs. When at the time that I was getting more into streaming, I was working 2 jobs. I'm just like, oh, I can make this work.
Nah, especially with streaming. That was why I had to stop, because working. I mean, this is just I don't even want to get into this conversation, but the Twitch leak that happened and like all this stuff with the.
Man!
I did want to talk about that tonight, but we didn't get to. But that's like a whole nother conversation in itself.
We're definitely gonna have to save that one for the next episode. But once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to the Gamers Grind podcast.
Where can we find you?
Ooh, where can I find me? We're starting off with me first. Yes,
Yeah.
you can find me on twitch.tv/ChocoTacoFGC. I already have streams planned. I thought it's been some time since I streamed a bit, but I do have streams planned. Metroid Dread coming soon. It's gonna be there.
Finally.
Yes, it's coming back. And I also have, yes, I'm gonna be streaming Metroid Dread. And I am now a coach on Metafy for people who are interested in me in Smash. So I'll be streaming those sessions as I get those booked. So look forward to that in the near future. You can also find me on twitter.com/ChocoTacoFGC. FGC, I talk about games, I talk about Smash, I talk about my daily life there. And then we got the YouTube channel, Gamers Grind, where we post all of our podcasts. We're posting more little different videos. If you want to enjoy a fun reaction of me screaming like a baby and almost crying, check out the reaction video for Sora coming out. Black Cat Gamer, where can we find you?
You can find me at Black Eye Gamer on YouTube.com. But forget that YouTube channel. You should go check out Smash Microclips, where you get to watch at least a 15-second clip of some of the sickest players across the galaxy that will be playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and maybe other Smash games too. I don't know. It's 3 clips a day. And guess what? You can't go wrong with that. And there'll be compilations too. It's going to be fun. I also stream at twitch.tv/theblackguygamer. I'm trying to come up with a consistent schedule. Like, I'm probably going to stream again tomorrow. It's like I streamed yesterday and I streamed Monday. But on Twitch, I'll probably most likely be only streaming Smash to practice. And YouTube will be where I'm going to be actually going to stream on YouTube for the other gobbledygook. So you can keep an eye out for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you heard it here, folks. He announced it earlier. He's announced it again. Smash Microclips is where you're going to be posting a lot of this content if you like Smash content. If you like
Smash
Smash
fucking
content.
do it.
If you like Smash content, definitely give him a try. And Lore Master King Kawante, where can they find you?
Well, I hate to do this, but I actually have to probably start streaming again because my soul is gone. Everybody took my heart-shaped object, and they're like, so I'll probably have to start streaming again at twitch.tv/moremaster95. I don't know when, but I'm just going to have to start streaming. I'll probably put on my Twitter when. I'll have to rearrange a lot of stuff. Probably like try to make an overlay and do face cam stuff because I didn't do face cam before on my previous streams, but people asked me to for Donkey Kong 64 because that game is dumb. People wanted to see my reactions, but I don't know. I don't want to do this, but I'm probably gonna have to. So
you have to.
I have to 100% that game. That game's more than 100%, by the way. So all of you are stupid because I'm gonna omit stuff that I don't like for the sake of percentage. So I don't know, but that should be happening soon because nobody's ever gonna let me live it down. So.
Most definitely, yes. You've signed the contract. You've had to. Yeah, you were wrong about Sora, and now your punishment is Donkey Kong Country 64. So if you guys want to check that out, please check it out. Twitch.tv/LoreMaster95. This has been the Gamers Grind, episode 11. We're gonna see you guys soon, and keep grinding.
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce? Is that
Barbecue
it?
sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
I actually hate you.
Barbecue
sauce. That's an old meme. Oh my god.
Barbecue sauce. The grind.
Oh!
Yeah. Don't. I wasn't even gonna say anything. I was just gonna let it slide.
I didn't even realize the barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
The grind continues again next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Leave me alone.
Barbecue sauce?
All right.
Really?
Leave me alone.